All right, everybody, we are live. Welcome to tonight's episode of Dropping the Hammer. I'm your host, Warhammer. We're live on Rumble, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. We're trying to hit everything like I've been talking about. But tonight, we're talking about everything that's happened this year, all the goods, the bads, the uglies, the bumps, bruises, the near misses, all that stuff. So, you know, this will be this may be a long one, but there's lots of things to talk about, and like always, any comments you know become part of the show as well. So I want to welcome all you Drangir and Shield Maidens to tonight's episode. Like I said, this one's the end of the year celebration, and it's time to reflect on how far we've come as a collective. I've come individually, you've come individually, but it's time to, in this season of giving, it's kind of time for reflection and time for thanks. That was last holiday, but it's still, you need to be thankful for what you're given even today. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in between the holidays. We've got Christmas last week. We've got New Year's next week. So, this is a crazy time right now. I know a lot of energies and vibrations and things are at a peak. They're at a whack. Your Gatorade is in the microwave and things like that. So I want to talk about something that I'm going to call my Christmas miracle. But you know, so we've been talking about frequencies and vibrations and just good feelings and positive vibes and all that stuff on here. But on TikTok, the TikTok history teacher, or Ancient Earth, one Ancient Earth, um, there's somebody I've followed on TikTok. What he's been doing is somatic engineering, which is bridging the physical and the metaphysical, and just kind of working in that realm. He's not a doctor, he's not a licensed anything, but the work he's doing is helping. I can personally attest to this. Not only have I been watching his TikToks and learning about history and things like that, but I've also been learning about certain stones and gems and things like that. So, I've been part of that one group that sends me, gems and crystals. Well, just in that same realm, I ordered a somatic reading from him, and ended up with a custom bracelet. It's more than just jewelry. This is a tool. It's an extension of me. So I'll briefly kind of go over this. In this one, it's like I said, it's custom created for me. So we've got lapis lazuli in there in the center. Then we've got labradorite. Then we've got howlite. Then we've got blue tiger's eye, and then it ends with hematite. Now, this is what my body has been craving for I don't know how long. Um, the only way I can describe it to you is I feel everything is calmer now. The ringing in the ears is lessened. I was talking to him about having weird conductivity issues and not being able to be around radios, TVs, antennas, and things like that. So this right here is to help ground me and just help kind of slow me down. And oh man, when I tell you, I can certainly feel, um, the oh, Larissa, thanks for the gift. getting gifts on TikTok, so I got a shout out. Thank you. But these when I put this jewelry on, first off, just holding it, I got instant chills, instant goosebumps all over my body. But I've worn this for near a week, and when I tell you, I can feel it in my chest and I can feel it in the top of my head, and it's a weird feeling because I feel it in this area. Um, Definite heart and crown chakras. So that's what this bracelet is all about. But man, I love this bracelet. On top of that, I got another couple of bracelets. I don't know how well the light's gonna do for these, but this one is a labradorite, amethyst, and moldavite um, bracelet. I haven't been able to wear it yet. So that one's a very energetic gem, that moldavite. That is meteor impact glass. So a meteor struck the earth, superheated all the environment, and caused rare earth glass. So on top of that one, I got another one. I can't remember what these light blue stones are. He's supposed to get back with me, but then we've got some howlite, and then we've got some granditerite, which are the three smaller ones right there. The problem, unfortunately, due to this one and these two, what I've done is kind of the opposite effect. So this one is the grounding. These are the adrenaline junkies, is what he kind of jokingly called them. But that's my life. I'm always seeking that next that next extreme. I've played paintball, I've played football, I've you know done some crazy things. I'm a professional wrestler. This is a wild life that I've been living recently, and so this jewelry is something I would recommend. Damien, thank you. James, or Jax, excuse me, Jax. Hi, welcome to the show, guys. Um, you know, Thank you, Larissa. Thanks for all the gifts. I this I can't prove to you what this can do for you. All I can say is just listen to the guy. He's on TikTok, the TikTok history teacher, One Ancient Earth. Either way, you can find his stuff. Now, he's bringing a whole lot of history, which the name, but he's also transformed it into the Semitic engineering. And I went on a live with him and just watched him as his wife was making jewelry, and he was talking about some things, and just seeing the impact when his jewelry hit him was enough to basically sell my bracelet. And I didn't even know I was getting a custom one later on. But like I said, I bought the two and then was working with him for this custom one. So this one, like I said, this one is all about me, and there will not be another one in the world like this. Just like the granditerite, that was a limited time supply, so I had to jump on that. It's very rare, and along with the moldavite, but the moldavite is a little more commonly found. So that's so the Christmas miracle came because I was talking to him right before the Semitic reading, and told them, I know I ordered the bracelets after their cutoff. They said they can guarantee shipping before this date, but after the date, is not up to them. But I was still able to get this. I got it Christmas Eve, so was able to wear this for Christmas. I took it and was able to handle I don't want this to sound negative, but I was able to handle family vibrations. We all can understand those. We've all got the one family member, the aunt, the uncle, the grandpa, the grandma, whatever it is, you know, a couple of family members that are just draining and really, really hard to be around vibrationally. I was able to handle Christmas, no problem. I did just get back from another family get together. That one was a little different, but I handled it better than I normally would have. So this, I can't recommend getting this reading done highly enough. But man, if y'all can support him, just listen to him, because what he talks about is certain um oh man, I don't even know if I said howlite. I know I said tiger's eye, but I forget what I was talking about. But I know that he was talking about certain things kind of gravitate to you, and this howlite uh, bracelet I was sent. I went to a Viking festival. I found a howlite stone. I was sent labradorite for the first box. I've got labradorite Viking rune stones. I've got a lapis lazuli set of rune stones. Like the stones are finding me just as much as I'm finding them. So your body it will be drawn to what it needs, and I think that's the coolest thing ever. I'm gonna do one thing. I apologize. So, um, yeah. So, thank you to everybody that's watching on Facebook, Rumble, YouTube, and on TikTok. We've got a couple people watching across all the streams. So, if y'all have any questions, shoot them out to me. I can certainly get you more information on this jewelry or the TikTok history teacher. So now I did lose my digital media championship title. I lost that to Dax Shepard a couple weeks ago in Marshall. Um, hope to still be in the running with that. That's how we ended December on a downside. But the only injury I took was a head injury, and that was caused by myself. Again, we're taking that as a win because somebody else didn't do it. I did it myself. So, slow improvements, but, better than no improvements. And then let's see, we're still tag team champs out of Southeast Texas. So the Sons of Plunder still remain strong. Hoping to get into some more companies soon. We're talking to another group outside of North Dallas, and just send our information there. So hopefully we can be out there. That's a little closer than Silsby, but like I've said in my post before, have hammer will travel, and I'll certainly find a way to get where I need to be. Thank you, Shaw Marie. She says Sons of Plunder are awesome. We definitely try. Um, we bring the real. That is for sure. I don't think there's anybody that hates us. Like it's a as soon as we break curtain, they see us. So Jack says, what's your favorite company to work for, including the ones right now? Man, let's see who we've worked for. We've worked for Warrior Wrestling Alliance. We've worked for League of Lions. We've worked for Sudistic Wrestling. We've worked for Southern Star Wrestling. We've worked for Elite Breakout Wrestling. We've worked for I forget the group out of Detroit. Man, we've been traveling. We've been putting the miles in. We've been putting those boots to dudes' faces for sure. Um, Man, if I had to choose a favorite, uh it's gonna be hard. It is gonna be hard. Um, hmm. I will say, Sadistic has become one of my. It's like they have opened up all arms and welcomed me to this family of sadistic MFs. So, nearly bleeding out in front of the fans for them. You know, they are the one of the top contenders. It's hard to say they beat my home promotion, but every time I go to Silsby, it is there is something to look forward to, and I can't wait to see what else SWF has in store. Along with that, SSW, Southern Star Wrestling, they welcomed me. I'm not sure if they've had Iron Belly yet. I can't remember, but they've welcomed us with open arms. And uh, even after throwing one of their favorite guys on the ground, knocking him out of his walker, um, they still showed us love. And actually, no, we did. Sons of Plunder made their debut, but Iron Belly has not made an official debut with Southern Star. That's what it was. Southern Star hosted us in Beaumont in November with the Odin Sons Club. So all these head injuries are stacking up, but it takes a minute to handle. Um, Miss Shaw Marie, I'm not leaving Silsby, so don't worry about that. Also, on top of all those companies, Exist to Inspire Wrestling. These guys are starting up. Their first show will be in February. The Sons of Plunder will be making a debut. Um, I can say this definitively: we will be taking over the entire company. There's no one that can stop two guys with hammers. So there's a lot in store coming up with those guys, and I can't wait to work with them. So those are all the people, but SWF has got to say, they're my top favorite right now. So I know there's someone coming up. So let's see, Exist to Inspire. Keep going. William, you know, I'm trying to do it. You know me, brother. It's also good seeing you with your veterans club, and taking care of some things there. So, um, you know, William's a former boss, coworker, friend. Man, oh, that guy. We got some stories. We would work the haunted house together as well. And for the 45-minute drive we were together, not only were we already in character a couple hours in, after, before work ended, we were already riling each other up. By the time we got to our place, we were in character and ready to scare the bejesus out of people. So, Damien, thank you. I definitely try inside the ring, and I think I've got a lot to offer people. I just wish I could be a little more used. In some of the not decision makings, but maybe some of the bookings or the plannings, because I've got some ideas. I've got ideas for my gimmick. I've got ideas for Sons of Plunder. I've got ideas for, I can watch somebody and give them an idea on their gimmick with a couple of minutes. I have a hard time, normally coming up with my stuff, but everything I've done so far, I've methodically thought about and planned out before even bringing it up to people. So that's why I can say my ideas usually go over well, because I've put a lot of work and effort into it, and I've made it almost oh yeah, I definitely understand that. So that's the way I go into it. So I wish I could be more of an asset in certain situations, but I'm certainly there to either beat people up or get beat up. I'm good at falling down. I'm good at making other guys look good, and you know, definitely just I know how to add just a little spice to a show. So, and yeah, William, we've talked about this. If he was 10 years, we both said, more than 10, because if we were 20 years younger, we would be just, I don't think there'd be a ring big enough for the two of us. There certainly wouldn't be an arena big enough for the two of us. Putting us together as a team, so we were trying to find ways in the haunted house of being not so much a tag team, but similar working. We'll go with gimmicks because it's kind of the same thing. His character, he kind of made this crazy. He took over the persona of his nurse. And I was just the crazy clown in the boiler room. But you know, we had a gimmick where he was going to be Claus Saint Nick, and he was going to have all these claws dressed like Santa, but reversed, more bloodstained than anything else. And I had a gimmick where I was a stuffed animal monster. You can find that on my Facebook. I've got a weird teddy bear mask on, and it looks like I'm holding puppets, but those are puppets, but they're my gloves that I had for hands. But I had a torso of ripped and stuffed animals, and just when I crumpled up on the floor, it looked like I was just a pile of toys. But I would stand up and play with me. So we wanted to take that crazy stuffed animal gimmick and just you walk into a room and it's badly decorated for Christmas. There's a couple of strings of lights, and most of the lights aren't working. Some of them are flashing, and you just look in the corner, and there's some dude just stomping something, and he looks at you, and he's like, "I'll be with you in a minute," and just goes back to stomping. We always thought that would be the most hilarious room to walk into, because at no point are you going to want to walk through that room. No, I'm going to come back, and you go back to the room. No, that room was safer because this is not. Or they're going to and run. They're going to see it and just, no, I don't want any of that. We always thought that we could even tie it into a children's bedroom and really go hard on the stuffed toys and stuff like that. But that would have worked for either Halloween, or it would have worked for Christmas. And at neither point was anybody ready for those rooms, because we were the shut up and give us your money group. We we caused a lot of people to no, and I'm out. And that was the first couple of rooms. But you paid it, and there are no refunds. So the first room of the haunt made a lot of money because they would show up and I'd scare them right back out the door. And nope, that didn't work for him this year, but William did. And he really kicked ass. And they did a lot of good this year. Wasn't there, but now also, it was last month. We hit a deer going 75. Still got a messed up van. Um, I want to do a funny TikTok, and just to show the van and be stupid, but I haven't done it yet. I'll end up doing it soon, and just a way to commemorate the deer. But I've got a funny idea, and I'm just follow me on TikTok, and I guarantee you're gonna laugh. Oh, so this question, yes, yes, we do. So the question is, do the Sons of Plunder have any new beard oils coming out in 2026? So the goal is to put out the final two, and we're throwing around the idea of a beard wash. The beard wash is harder. I'm researching beard washes, beard oils, beard soaps for information's sake. I really honestly do not know much about beards except for I grow one. I don't. I've it was a lack of shaving situation, but I'm learning how the past couple of years. Now, the oils are to help smell, condition, and smooth, also help for shine. But the wash, that's a little harder to do because there's different types of washes that I'm finding out. Women with hair and fancy hairs, they know this. There's like gentle, there's stripping, there's essentially the different levels of those two, but you don't need a stripping wash every day. You don't need a gentle wash every day. You need to go back and forth so often. So it's harder to do the wash, but we are going to at least try to do a gentle one, something that we can put out for mass. The stripping one would be good for beards. They take out all the oils that have been built up, the sweat, the salt, the dirt. It would help cleanse the beard and the skin, but those are just harder. Those are very hard. A gentle beard wash, nice foaming uh luxury lather, that we can do. So we're gonna try that type of beard wash. So stick around and we will I was gonna get a card like broom. So yeah, let's see what else has happened this year. uh you know 9 we'll say 9 injuries, but 8 major injuries in so many months. Went to the ER after my buddy Creed crushed me. He's a big boy, but things happen. Um, also, uh, what else? Besides the trash can lid, I mean, obviously, we've talked about that before. That's, I don't like bleeding, but that was a way of learning limits. So, that's like I said, that was wild. Um, a lot of them were superficial. Oh, the eye. Um, that one, I kind of look back now, we missed veins by fractions. Could have taken my whole eye. I could have, completely bled out because of the vein. That one could have been much worse, but luckily we're okay. You can't even see, you know, I've looked and it's very difficult to see, but you know, it hides. That scar is relatively unseen, especially when my eye is open. So, you have to really look to even see it, but it could have been much worse. Just like the deer, you know, all these close calls, man. We got to stop. I know um my family was picking on me last night, and they were telling me I got to stop getting hurt, stop letting people hurt me. I don't know how many times I've heard this. Yeah, Jax, lots of trash can lid talks. You know, I even joined a group on TikTok, um, and basically what we do is we cut promos with each other, and I even let them know about the trash can lid, and that kind of blew them away. Um, I let them in on some of the stories on Warhammer just this past year, and I've even brought up some of the wrestling matches we've had in the past, and was able to use all my wrestling promo knowledge to impress these guys. I'll be getting a shirt soon. They're sending me a shirt, so I can't wait for that. But this year we've we've done a lot. Um, we've also uh, joined the Silver Lining Club. Haven't been able to order with them again, but after the holidays, I'm letting all my money kind of build back up. But I'll be ordering more stuff from these guys. They're putting the same gems and stones in the clothing, so like I'm finding these stones are drawn to me, like I said, and it's fun and it's interesting because uh, this is helping me. This has helped in the past week tremendously, and I definitely feel it can help you. So whether it's custom jewelry or shirts and hoodies and sweats and things like that, this stuff is just, I don't want to say snowflakes in a heap, um, but these are tools that help build bricks that we're building with. We're building this rocket ship to go to space, and we've come a long way. We've had to restart this podcast again. Now it's on my own feet, it's on my own shoulders. So I'm doing this. Nobody else has got any control. That happened in September, but like I've said, since I started, we're now hitting all the metrics as soon as I can. Um, Ricky, thanks for that. Thanks for being proud of me. I definitely try. Um, but we've had to start over so many times with this podcast, but now I feel like we settled. We landed in a place where we can get our feet under us and we can grow roots with this. Uh, I've asked everybody to follow me to Rumble, but if you're following me on YouTube, follow me on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, it's to me it's all the same. You're following me, you're able to hear my message, and that's what I've been preaching with this podcast is the negativity that I talk about is mainly internal and how I feel I didn't do as much as I could have in the ring and in my matches. I've never buried my opponent. I've never buried a company, even if I've had disagreements or difference of opinions. I'm I'm not about that because in the end, I don't know everything. So their decision might mean different if I knew something down the line. But in the moment, I'm just giving my opinion, and that's all I've ever done. So, you know, I know there's been some people that have misinterpreted what I've said, misconstrued what I've said, but even if I've had to reiterate many times that uh, this is not a podcast about negativity. This is not a podcast about adding to drama. This is this is me, this is my life, and this is the things I'm dealing with on a day-to-day, week-to-week, show-by-show basis. Sometimes y'all seen me struggle. I've been late to podcasts. I've had to postpone them on days. Like I said, I had to rebuild. Oh, Texas Red. Oh my goodness. Welcome to the show, Texas Red. Oh man. I think we need to wrestle soon. You were one of the people I had ideas with, but man, Texas Red, great wrestler. He's somebody y'all should follow as well. Very, I think we can have a very, very comical, very comical match. And that's kind of the beauty of my character. I can be silly, I can be violent, I can be in between. I can be, that whole song, I can be blue, I can be green, I can be purple, I can be anything you like, whatever the song was. But yeah, it's I think Warhammer can go against just about anybody. I can certainly figure out how to put them over if I can understand them, understand their gimmick. All it takes is just a little bit of nugget, and I can run with it and figure out how to make the crowd care. And that's all we care about in wrestling. Texas Red says he's going to talk to Preston. So yeah, come back to LOL. I know in April there's the or is it May? I always get these shows mixed up. It may be May, but there's the Royal Rumble League of Lions does, and always have lots of fellas down. So and if anybody else knows of any wrestlers that want to wrestle a Viking, or you think would pair well with a Viking, go ahead, shoot me some information, and I'll I'll see about picking a fight. I'm good at that. And that's basically how I got some information last night on Dragon Slayer Pro Wrestling out of, all I can say is my cousin's out of Saginaw, North Dallas. So sent them a message, and he said, yes, send me your resume and information. So I connected with Iron Belly and had him shoot the promoters some information. So Dragon Slayer Pro Wrestling, we would love to come wrestle for you guys and kick ass for you guys. Hawkins. Oh, bet you and Cody Hawkins would be a great match. Yes. Cody Hawkins, we can definitely square up. I am not afraid to wrestle anybody, regardless of their size, whether I gotta drop to my knees to wrestle them, or I can stand on a ladder to look eye to eye with some of these giants. One of my buddies, Monster Creed, great spot. We had a ladder match a year or so ago, and I was a couple of steps up the ladder, but here he walks up to me and just is eye to eye with me. So I kind of talked to him for a second. I draw back really big. All he does is just push the ladder over and walks away. He doesn't have to do anything. No. So it was beautiful. I couldn't even punch him because just straight down to the ground. Now I've said many times I like working Monster Creed because I will feed into him so he can do his Black Hole Slam. We need to rename it. It needs to be something else because the way he does it now is incredibly impactful. It's the Black Hole Spike, whatever you want to call it. I don't know, but he he's mean with it. Let me know when you do work there. I'm not too far from Saginaw. Okay, yeah, awesome. I definitely, if I ever get out there, when I get out there, we will let you know. Of course, I try to post anything when I break into new companies. Um, I certainly post as much information as I can just to let everybody know. Even if you're not a fan of pro wrestling, you should go to an indie wrestling show. um, just, just give it one show. Just give it one show. Um, you're guaranteed to find somebody there you'll believe. You'll follow their gimmick and just, huh, I like this guy, I like this lady, it doesn't really matter. There's something about them that just captivates me. Um, like I've said, I always try to find the kid in the crowd, and I always try to find me as a kid, but try to give the kids something. That's why as a bad guy, I'll flex and pose on children, because I'm the bad guy. When I'm the bad guy, well, when they start, well, I'll show you. I'll show you. Well, now I've got to back off. It makes them feel a little bit bigger because now their families. Yeah, you show. Yeah, yeah. Now they're. Yeah, maybe I could beat you. You're a bad guy. It's that good versus evil that everybody wants to see. Everybody wants to see the bad guy get what's coming to him. We want to see that justice. We want to see that right get wrong. Excuse me, that wrong get righted. Almost had it had it backwards. So Texas Red says he's developed a huge following in Louisiana and Mississippi back when he was in BIW. So yeah, I wish there's several states that are still on my bucket list, but I certainly plan on hitting more states. You know, Vikings tend to invade, and once they invade, you can always expect them to come back. Yes, some fans do like bad guys. Unfortunately, for Sons of Plunder, it doesn't matter whether we're heels or faces, bad guys or good guys. Um, we bring that realism that one another another wrestler, Debo Aaron Rydell, calls it realism, violenceism. You know, um, you you respect it when you hear that clap. When I'm talking the clap, but it's the slap, the hand across the chest. When you hear that, you definitely can feel it. You see the wrestler wince in pain and react to it. You're like, oh, I don't want to do that. It wakes us up. So that's why we do it. But it's only a momentary sting. It's an attention grabber. That's really all it is. But it's a real strike. You hear it, you see it, you'll see the red marks, and you go, I believe it. Uh, Texas Red says I need to try Minnesota. Definitely. I mean, that's Viking territory up there, but it is close. It is cold. So, um, I'm not gonna repeat that one, Red. But Red says to watch out for ring rats. I've I don't think I've found any ring rats. I nobody as far as I've seen, I've not found any rats. So I must be the exterminator or something because you know a rat or two would be nice. Not really, not really, not really. Uh, that's not that's not something I'm looking for. So Now, let's. Nope, I don't have my phone. I don't. Oh, my phone is there. I was gonna look something up on my phone, but Red, thank you for showing up. Thanks for the likes, for the repost, everything you've done. Much love. We'll square up in the ring very soon. So I was gonna look up my bucket list, but my phone's being used right now. I know, I know there's a couple of things left. The biggest thing that still to come, I am trying to win the top belt of my home company, League of Lions, and that is the Lionheart champion. I honestly don't know what I have to do, what I've got to bring to these guys. Um, I kind of I tried to create Sons of Plunder to help reinvigorate their tag team division. Um, Sons of Plunder had, I think, 3 matches this year with League of Lions, and we lost our belts with, I think, 1 defense. So I don't know what I've got to do, what I've got to bring, what we've got to bring to win that, but I'm definitely trying my hardest. And I talk to people that tell me, oh man, you're good, you're good. I try. I try my hardest. You don't know how many times I'm off in the back after the match, barely able to function because this takes it out of us so bad. Uh, the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. And uh, yeah, so let's read this one. The chop is absolutely different depending on who is delivering it. It's one of the absolute real hits in the business. Absolutely, 100% agree. Through training, I learned with my right hand. So my right hand, I learned if I do it a certain way, it sounds really loud. I also learned if I change my hand just slightly, it hurts a little more. So I used to joke, do you want sound or do you want pain? And they joke, and they couldn't catch it, and they're like, huh? And then I would just chop them. But my left hand, it's definitely a combination of the two. It is louder and it definitely hurts. I'm not able to control it as much. It controls in a different way, kind of does what it's going to do. And I don't throw too many left handed chops, but I like hitting the overhand chops. It'll be like this more, but straight hands instead of crossed, so, this, but this. So hit straight down and it will leave giant handprints on the wrestlers. And, it's, I was there, even if you win, even if you beat me, I was there tomorrow. You will feel it, you will see it, and you will remember that it was not an easy win to beat Warhammer, and it was it was in the script that you won, because if I really wanted, you wouldn't win. Yes. So one of the groups I'm in on Facebook, just a group chat. I like to change my name, and I got nicknamed the Tack Hammer. So, you know, I'll take it. I'll take it. One of the things, you talking me in the background. um just I forgot what I was talking about now. Miss Shaw Marie. But this year we have come so far, man. Um just looking at the wall has changed so much. This is from Beaumont Comic Con. This is from a fan who met me in Beaumont Comic Con and then had to find me a month or so later to give me this. This is my buddy Coach, the guy I tumped out of his walker, and then he chased me out of the arena. Stickers made for me. This whole section kind of exploded. I found fake money. It's not real. It's not a real $100. It's not a real $50. That's fake. It says replica for movie use only, but it's just fitting. It fits, you know. Um, I am blown away when I think about how far we've come. So, you know, it's it's wild. It's wild to me. I don't know what else to say. Thank you is the first thing, because as I've said this entire time, I can't do this without you guys. I wouldn't do this unless it was for you guys. Yes, I'm using this as a therapy outlet. I'm doing this to, document my day to day, but this is we're doing this together as a family, and again, I can't thank you enough. So I wouldn't have wanted to continue if I hadn't have gotten the support from you guys on TikTok and you guys on Facebook and YouTube and Rumble. You're following me, you're wanting to listen to me, whether I talk for 30 minutes because I'm hurt, or an hour, or even it was 2 hours with Coach, you know, um, you know, just everything I've done, from being with TWPF, which is it's Triumph Wrestling Promo Federation. They've welcomed me with open arms. They didn't know I was an actual wrestler, and I kind of slipped in. I actually thought it was just wrestling talk, but I came in and showed them who I was, and instant they believed it. Just like every new company I go to, when we break curtain, the Sons of Plunder are instant sensations, instant believable. Um, you know, everybody digs it. These two guys dressed in fur, big beards, got hammers. You may not know what to think of us as we walk out. Our music is custom, but it's set for us. But once we get inside the ring and we smack the ring with our hammers, you thought we were all fake. You thought everything about us was fake. That hammer strike, now we're real. However, the wrestlers or the ref reacts, it just adds to the ambiance. Hey, something is different about these guys. And that's what I do. The people in each company, the people in the TWPF, the Promo Federation, everybody has loved the Viking gimmick. Now, some people still accuse me of being Eric the Red impersonator, Dollar Store or Timu Viking Raiders, Viking Experience, whatever you want to say. I'm honored to even be considered close to their level. I certainly, I jokingly say I know the 5 moves of doom, but I only do 3 of them. So I'm even worse than John Cena. But I'm real, and you're, as I've said in TWPF, I'm undeniable, regardless of who is your champion. You're always going to say, yeah, but that Warhammer. Yeah, but there's this one guy. He's always there. He's always consistent, nipping at the heels because I've jokingly said I set the bar. I've wrestled a lot of guys coming back from injury and been able to take care of them, been able to put them over or just, have an entire match and not have them worry about their injury or making it worse or re-injuring whatever it is, but they're able to get their ring rust out and still have a great match. I can't have a great match without them. I disagree with that statement in reverse. I think they can have a great match without me, but I'm at least giving them the backboard to work against, the villain to, you know, cause the crowd to want that the underdog to rise. Um, oh, Vincent, thanks for the gifts. I'm trying to, when I try to announce when I get them. Sometimes I miss them, but thank you everybody who sent gifts on TikTok. Um, but like I said, we bring that realism and we you believe it. Which kind of ties into the TikTok thing. I've gotten monetized on TikTok recently, and I'm not gonna lie, I've not made much. I think $1.50, but the people that consistently send gifts, it's adding up, and it's just more people that are believing in me. Thank you for anybody who has sent gifts. Thank you for anybody who's followed me thus far. Um, if you click my links for Dubby and for the Silver Lining, you can get 10% off on your purchases. Yes, I make a little bit of commission. I haven't made anything through that, but it's okay. I'm not trying to force people to do anything, but these are what's helping me, and I think it can help you too. So, I'm trying to be the open billboard for everything I'm doing because I'm trying not to do anything fake. I understand, but I can bring real to the fake, and it's still me. It's me turned to 11, and once I come out dressed up, you believe it, you see it. It's you know, I am. I'm gonna say I am who I present to be. So I again, I can't do this without you guys. So it's been it's been quite a journey thus far. Um, I will say we are breaking into Exist to Inspire Wrestling in February. That will be their first show in Silsbee, Texas. We are, we are that company right there is it's starting with a group of wrestlers trying to do something bigger than themselves. They know that there's potential. They know that there's chances and opportunities, and they want to go to the moon with this. Vincent says he's got to see me live and he wants some merch. Yeah, so we're running out of shirts, but we're gonna get some more shirts. I've already talked to Iron Belly. I'm out of koozies, I'm out of buttons, and I'm out of patches. So pretty much all I've got is stickers, some photos, and some beard oils. Now the beard oils have been a tremendous seller for us, but even if you don't have a beard, it is still good for your hair. It is still a good essential oil. It can still be beneficial for you, even as a cologne or just kind of a general scent oil, but not something that you're going to put in a diffuser or anything like that. It's not that. It's not a aromatherapy oils. So it's for your body. But kind of talked about this earlier. We're gonna have a couple more 2 more scents coming out this next year, and we're trying to do a beard wash. It'll be a gentle wash, not a stripping wash, but that's in the works. Yes, also, I've made wooden hammers. I've not made any in a while, but now I've got a bunch of block heads again, so I will be making some more. Hello, all the gingers. Welcome to the show. But Vincent, even if you have any facial hair, this would be good for your skin. It's more for your skin. That's beard oil. It's misleading because it's for the skin. It's not for the hair. So yes, it ends up going on the hair, but it's for underneath. You rub it into the skin and then just kind of carry it through the beard. So it'll help moisturize. It's good old Redbeard. Redbeard. What's up, brother? Some more SWF or SSW or all the other groups. Uh-oh, what are we doing? Inactivity. We're not inactive. We're still active. We're still going with this. I don't know how much longer. I normally, yes, he says follicles, good for the follicles. The skin and follicles, but not for the actual hair itself. But yeah, this is one of the longer ones. I don't normally go more than an hour, but it's again, I'm not blaming you people, but it's because of you guys that I continue to talk. So y'all keep me going. It's what's this? Have y'all thought of, or do y'all have a Sons of Plunder necklace like a hammer on a chain or something similar? Okay, so not a Sons of Plunder, but I did have a whole bunch of 3D printed hammers. I don't have them in front of me, but here's some tiny ones that I was making into earrings and things like that. I was actually making a charm bracelet with these, but that's as close as I've gotten to a necklace. I'm not really sure how to make that farther. Vincent, yes, I am feeling better after my match, all healed up. It actually took a couple of days. Funny enough, while getting this jewelry, I was able to feel a difference even with the head injury. So, when I tell you this jewelry was immediate when I felt it, I it was immediate, And yes, we were talking about that just the other day in the group chat. Maybe one night I'll have a bunch of wrestlers on the live stream and stuff like that. I want to have more interviews and get their gimmicks out just as much as mine. So we're all moving forward together. Copper infused with magnets, game changer. So in this, it's got copper spacers. It's got hematite at the end, and it's a magnetic clasp. So all of it together helping with the gems. I can go over the gems again as well. So lapis lazuli, there's labradorite, there's howlite, then there's blue tiger's eye. Again, it repeats, but then it ends with hematite with copper spacers. And like, whoa, I can't. Oh man. And just to show you that, there's these bracelets are, packed with energy. I bought 2 other bracelets. This one was custom for me, but this one is howlite and granditerite. This one is labradorite, amethyst, and moldavite. So, this gem work, these frequencies and stuff, we're doing something with it. So One Ancient Earth on TikTok, or you can look up the TikTok history teacher, can find all the links from there. That's how I found him from TikTok. Um, but Silver Lining, I've got a link to in my link tree, and the same with Dubby. Um, those are the two I've got affiliate sponsorships with, so that's why I can say there's a 10% discount if y'all use those. But the One Ancient Earth, they've got other discounts. They've got others, so follow their stuff and they can do that. Um, what kind of is that, the magnet and copper bracelet you were talking about? So what's in store for 2026 besides breaking into E2IW? What would I like to accomplish? Hmm. And like I said before, I definitely want to be a better asset to any group I can. It doesn't matter, you know. I've not been doing this wrestling business long, but I've watched it since I was a kid, and I know how to write stories through, art and, English and whatnot. So, I can put together something, but, you know, really my goal is to keep pushing, keep driving, and to I I want to be the person for you guys that y'all. I'm not trying to replace John Cena, but I can certainly push hard for the company, push hard for the business, and be the John Cena that you need for the time being. Certainly can't fill his shoes, but I can play my part and help out. So, thank you. I try. I try. The Warhammer Nation. That's right. Sons of Plunder forever. It's. I want to get my message out, and my message is peace and love. Even though I'm playing a nasty Viking who just wants to smash faces and drink and feast, but it's just a persona. It's 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 just a movie character that I'm playing. You know. But I play it for you guys to give you somebody to hate in the moment, for give you somebody to cheer for in the moment. So in that moment, we've forgotten everything else that matters except for the situation we find ourselves in. There's either a good guy or a bad guy, and there's a situation going on that needs to be rectified. Boil it down to brass tacks, and everybody wants to see that. So, Vincent, I certainly, certainly try to help. I want. I've said this. I can't get better without other people getting better. So, if I can help you step your game up, you're going to make me step my game up to stay better, or vice versa. I've got to always chase that next ring. So, you're doing the exact same thing in wrestling, in life. It's all the same. Wrestling is more a metaphor for me to grab your attention, but we're talking about real life. Yeah, we might be talking about wrestling in the situation, but everybody can think in their life a situation where they needed somebody to, you know, have their back. They needed somebody to right the situation, whether they could be, the spectator or it was their situation to begin with, but they all needed somebody to help them or somebody to be their outlet for aggression. Everybody's been in the same situations wrestling just gives it a safe space to exist. So, man, I can't believe how many people have, joined and, joined and left, but it's fascinating how many people have stopped by. I've gotten a ton of gifts. You know, when I started this, it wasn't I didn't really think it would be a big deal, and it's certainly changed my mind. So I'm trying to take TikTok to the moon. I'm trying to take everything else to the moon, and I'm trying to be the best for you guys. Dusty, I'm trying. I try to bring it. I try to let you know, that I'm as real as I can be for you guys. I'm tearing back the curtain. I'm letting you peek behind the shield, so to speak. I'm breaking kayfabe, so to speak. But once you realize we're all actors, we're all we're all actors on stage. Even you're an actor. That's a Shakespearean quote. You know, boiled down, but you're an actor. I'm an actor. Your friends are an actor. We're all puppets on stage, and the best thing we can do is work together to paddle this boat forward as opposed to backwards. Dusty says I've always make him elevate his game, but I I reverse this anytime I can because I if I see you guys hungry, all it makes me want to do is bring more, do more. What else can I do? Because if y'all sell me, I'm one of the worst critics. If y'all sell me, oh man, we can do this. I feel I'm a lot like Brock Lesnar. If I feel you, oh man, we can work, we can go and do a million different things. If I don't got you, I don't know what to do. And that's hard because I've worked a lot of people. I've worked different sizes. I've worked everybody. I can't say it because I keep getting flagged every time I talk about the smaller shows that I've been on. I don't know which word gets me flagged, but when they're smaller in stature, um, doing smaller wrestling shows, uh, that show is wild. So definitely got to watch those guys. Um, oh no, oh no. Redbeard says he's got a bag of dum dums with my name on it. So what happened in that show? I don't know who had a bag of candy or a pocket full of candy, but I ended up in the middle of a rumble. I picked up a dum dum sucker, and I was just like using it as a weapon. So now that's become a, a running gag. Oh man, dude, it might hurt, but a dum dum spot instead of thumbtacks or Legos. Ouch. Bag of dum dums would be funny, but it might be painful. And who is that? Dish Hillbilly Blind says Raw is war. That's definitely. I I I remember when Raw was war. Um, I remember the WCW Nitro versus Raw, wars. It was time to watch wrestling. I'll give you. I watched WCW for the cruiserweight division. You watch WWE for the main attractions. I think that's the best description on those two companies. But yes, it's definitely going to be our running gag. So we will do something with Dum Dum Suckers. So Monday Night Wars was peak. Yes, yes. I think it got oversaturated when they added Thursdays and Saturdays and stuff like that. Vincent says he's got to go. Can't wait to see me back in the mix at TWPF. Yesterday's show was wild. I kind of came in and was able to see a little bit of the show, but I'm on as often as I can. I'm not as attached to the phone as a lot of people are, but I try to show where I can. Yes, Thunder was a letdown. I agree, Dusty. But thanks for your comments. Thanks for tuning in. But yeah, I think Thursday Thunder and SmackDown and all that stuff, it became oversaturated, and then it became too much. Too much of a good thing is still a bad thing. So, again, I'm just so thankful to be here this year, be here in front of you guys. It is a tremendous honor, like I keep saying, to have you captivated for, it's an hour and 16, but however long I talk, that y'all are listening, whether y'all are caring about your business. Dusty says he's got to go cook. I never try to have it to where it's that engaging and force you to, you have to sit and focus. I can definitely be just listened to, over a podcast or whatnot, but to everybody who has come and seen me perform, to everybody who actually watches my podcast, I can't thank you enough. To all my fans, to Hannah, who made me and my snake. It's what it says. You're a snake right there, Warhammer. My Jormungandr snake. But, just somebody making that, and, somebody making the stickers, just, I can't, it's wild. I ordered the hammers and the axe, and I ordered the action figure, but the fact that I've even got it, it still blows me away, because this is, it's wild. It's just wild to me. So again, thank you everybody who's tuned in. Thank you everybody for stopping by. We're going to have another show next Sunday. I don't know if we're going to have any guests, but I will try to get some guests lined up. We definitely need to talk about some shows, talk about some companies coming up. But I want to thank you again for finding me in amongst your family time. I want to say happy Yule, and then it will be Happy New Year. So right in between the holidays, this is the most stressful time. So like I said, thank you for, stopping by. Thank you for watching, and be sure to hammer that like button. Tune in next week. Share this with your friends. Follow me on all the socials that I can. Again, get your silver lining clothing, get your W energy and hydration, get your ancient earth jewelry. They also make necklaces. If you've got any questions about whatever I'm talking about, feel free to message me. Again, on all platforms. It's Warhammer on Facebook. It's Odin's Sun War on Instagram. It's Warhammer LOL on TikTok. It's Warhammer Odin's Sun on Rumble. I've tried to make it as similar as I could, just so you can find me, but everything's on my link tree. So just follow me there, and you can send me a message, and we can get you connected to whoever it is that's helping me, or we can find you whatever help you're looking for, whether it's wrestling, life, mental health, gyms and frequencies, crystals. We can talk about cereal. We can talk about food. It doesn't matter. You can always send me a message. I try to respond as much as I can. I'm behind on a lot of messages right now, but I will be getting back to them as soon as I can throughout this new year. So, again, thank you, everybody. Happy holidays and good night. We're doing